What is going on, my Nerdswag TV family? I hope you're doing well today. I'm at Grand Comic Fest. I keep wanting to say Grand Island Comic Fest, but it's actually Grand Island Comic Fest. No, it's Grand Comic Fest. Grand Comic Fest number 5. We are here all day. We're gonna be doing interviews with creators, with vendors, with cosplay people, with robots, with wizards, with bears, with tigers. Oh my! It's gonna be quite an interesting time. So far, it looks like a great showing on the vendor side. We're waiting for the crowds to show up. This is early morning time, and we'll be piping in some footage. We've got our spy cam up today, high in the sky, overlooking all of the vendors. Just know, vendors, Big Brother is watching. We are paying attention to everything you're doing. It's gonna be a good time. We're looking forward to it. So just be hanging out with us. We'll have some interviews, some crazy moments, and let's just see what goes down. Looking forward to seeing everyone. My co-host, my host with the most, the comic creator himself, the Bobcat creator himself, James Hollister, is not with me right now. James Hosler, where are you, James Hosler? He's actually in a booth right now, peddling his fares. Peddling his fares. So that's fine, that's okay. I can do it alone, me and my invisible host. We'll handle this alone, James. Enjoy making lots of money while I keep this show going by myself. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just kidding. All right, so James will be popping in soon, I'm sure. Once the fans, the security, just keeps them from just overwhelming James. They're just lines of fans, Bobcat fans, demanding signatures. As soon as he gets free of that, he'll be on the show. We'll see you in a minute.
Cause I dance better when I'm high.
TV. I'm here at Grand Comic Fest 5, numero 5, my friend. And I have a very special guest. I've got R2R9 with me, and I just want to get his take on what he's thinking about, what he's seen so far. It's the early morning time. People just got set up. So tell me, what's been your favorite part of the Grand Comic Fest so far? That's amazing. That's mine too. I'm glad we're on the same page. Has there been anything about this that really got you excited? Nothing. You're just chill. You're just in total chill mode. All right, I can live with that. You're a little more feisty of a guest I'm used to. The talking back's a little much. I thought we were gonna have a respectful conversation, but it's fine. It's cool. We can be okay with it. All right. So it's gonna be going on today and tomorrow. So today is April. What is the date?
22nd.
22nd. We'll edit that in a minute. So it's going on this is April 22nd so far, and 23rd Sunday, and lots of special guests. And I even saw R2D2 walking around. I mean, I wouldn't say that about him, but it's fine. I mean, that's between you and him. I think that's a little rude. Why does there have to be robot on robot violence? That's what I want to know. I guess. Okay. Well, anyways, I want to thank everyone, and it's going to be a great show. We're going to be bringing lots of footage from here. We have lots of interviews planned. It's going to be a great day. Looking forward to seeing everyone. See you in a minute. Bye. So I'm here with the operator of R2R9, and it's Chris Leffel.
Yes.
I butchered it. I practiced it 3 times. We go live, and the first thing comes out of my mouth. I bet high school was a little difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They always thought I was French for some reason.
That's nice, yeah. That's awesome. So talk to me about operating one of these units that you have. What do you go to mostly comic conventions, or you going to Star Wars? Like,
Well, so
what do you do with all this?
we actually do quite a bit. So in 2019, before COVID, we actually did over 75 events just with my R2 alone.
Okay.
And it ranges from anywhere from conventions, schools, where we go in and talk to the kids about building, research, making things on their own. We got Children's Mercy Hospital.
Oh, wow.
City.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
We do a lot of charity events, and then and the theater opening.
Okay.
Like when we get the movies.
Yeah.
We'll go spend from like Thursday is usually the premiere night till all the way till Sunday.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
And we stay pretty busy.
Yeah. So, what are some things that you run into when you're operating this? Do you ever have problems with people wanting to be too handsy with these units, or?
Well, and that's the good thing about these two. We've got 2 units here at Comic-Con this year. We've got R2-D2 and R2-R9.
Yeah.
They're both all metal.
Okay.
All aluminum.
Pretty well.
So it's kind of hard to mess them up at this point.
Nice.
Whereas you have some of our other ones within the Kansas City area and worldwide that they have them 3D printed or plastic.
Oh, wow.
Things like that. So it makes them really fragile.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful about the handsy part
Very cool.
of things.
That's amazing, man. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, I built this, I finished R2-R9 back in 2016. Just premiere from Rogue One. So
Okay.
It took me 2.5 years to build them.
So, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So you've had it for a while. But
Yeah, so I've been
Okay.
for a little bit. And
Nice.
he's been operating like a...
Is there a kit that you guys buy to build these, or?
No, these are all custom.
Okay.
So every bit of it is all custom pieces made. But we have the original drawings from George Lucas, so we're able to use those drawings and get everything to an exact replica
Okay.
by one.
That's amazing. Yeah.
They see R2-D2 here tonight. I mean, it's look the same identical as R2-D2
That's amazing.
in the movie.
Okay. That's amazing. All right. Is it too much to ask? Like, what is building a unit like that's going to set someone back if they want to do it? Is that, you don't have to answer that one. I don't know. And money's one of those questions.
And it's funny because that is a popular question.
Yeah.
So the typical answer on that is it ranges anywhere from $500 to $40,000.
All right. Yeah. It just
So when you
depends on how many bells and whistles you're going to throw in.
Bells and whistles and what material you use to build it with. So if you're using it all metal, you're going to look into that 20 to 30 to 40,000.
Wow. But it's going to last you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that's
The
amazing.
thing is, since I built him, I know every nook and cranny of him. So if I ever have a problem with him, I can work on it.
Wow.
And that's what kind of the big pluses of being in a builder's club.
Yeah.
You get to do this all.
So there's a whole club that works together on this stuff?
It's actually a worldwide club.
That's amazing. I didn't know this at all. Yeah.
So our worldwide page is astromech.net.
Okay.
It's the actual worldwide club. And then we have our own kcr2.com
Yeah.
for our Kansas City detachment.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've got over 30,000 builders worldwide.
I had no idea. That's amazing. That's really cool. That's something I just learned something new today. That's amazing. So is there a lot of computer programming that goes into these too?
Not really, because we build these now with a lot of off-the-shelf products.
Okay.
So Arduinos are our favorite items to use.
Yeah.
Those are basically the brains of the R2s.
So you're buying those pre-programmed and you're just putting them in, or you're gonna have to use some
that have done the programming.
Okay.
And so it's a matter of just upload it to Arduino and get it running.
Okay. That's amazing.
See, like I use this is off this. It's a PlayStation navigation controller.
Eric, zoom in on this for me. Look at this. Yeah, I was watching you. It's nice with this because this really keeps the illusion that your R2 unit is really like operating on its own. The way you hold this and even operate with everyone look at it, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so it's all about maintaining that magic.
Yeah,
So I try to do that as much as possible, especially with the kids.
Nice.
Because they come up to R2 and they want to have that interaction with.
Yeah.
So we try to keep it where it's hidden and not known.
Wow, that's amazing, brother. Thank you. Well, thanks for sharing this with us. I learned something new today. I see those units all the time, and I've always wondered these questions. So it's great getting to meet you and interview you today. And I hope you have a great time here at the.
Oh, it'll be amazing.
All right. See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, My Nurse Whack TV, live from the Grand Comic Fest 5. You know how hard it is for me to get that correct? What I want to say is Grand Island Comic-Con.
I get it all the time.
And
I get it all the time.
Comic-Con will get you in big trouble.
That's why we changed our name.
You got to go with Fest.
We started out as Grand Comic-Con, and it rolled off the tongue, but it's like, as we get bigger, I wanted to avoid that pitfall before we got too big.
That cease and desist letter.
I know.
It was getting ready to be mailed.
I know they're waiting there with a stack, and all they have to do is, fill in the name, and they're going to send it out.
That's amazing. Well, tell everyone who you are.
My name is Doug Holmes. I am the director of the Grand Comic Fest here in Grand Island, Nebraska.
And tell them about this and why you started it and even what it goes to. Just give them all the stuff. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, here's the elevator pitch. We are sponsored by the Grand Theater. It is a historic theater in downtown Grand Island.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful theater. It's been around since 1937.
Wow.
So, if you come in, I know you guys came in last night, you took a look around, and, you just really feel that history there. So anyway, the Grand is a non-profit theater, and we are able to do benefit events for throughout the year for the public, and as part of our mantra, or whatever you want to call it, we like to do things for the community. So about 5 years ago, I've always been a comic book guy, a pop culture guy. Love going to Comic-Cons around the country, generic Comic-Cons, no specific names. But I go there and it's like, oh, this is so much fun. And so I brought it up to our board of directors and I said, hey, what would you think about us doing a Comic-Con event? And they said, that sounds great. We don't know what it is. You go ahead and do it.
Nice.
So, here we are. I had no idea where to start.
Yeah.
I had no volunteers. I had no real budget. I had nothing. And I didn't know, hey, will Central Nebraska even support any kind of a con like this?
Yeah, come on.
So again, as I'm going to several, Comic-Cons down in Kansas City, Planet Comic-Con, I went to the Des Moines Comic-Cons and different events, Denver Comic-Con, and I thought, well, how can I get a couple of artists here? Because I didn't focus on celebrities right away because I thought, let's just do a free event just to bring public awareness to the Grand.
Yeah.
As a theater, we always fight that inevitable battle. How do we stay relevant with, we had the VHS era, we had DVDs, we had streaming, and then COVID hit, and then it was like, studios saying, hey, you know what? We don't need to go to theaters anymore. So, but you need to see movies in a theater sometimes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started reaching out to some Midwest-based artists, and I said, hey, I'm sure you don't want to come to Nebraska. We're in the middle of the state, but would you know of anybody? Well, I ran into Phil Hester, and I was talking to him. He's out of Des Moines, and he said, I know where Grand Island is. I'd love to come.
Nice.
How does that happen? So then I spoke to artist Jim Mesling. He does Topps licensed cards, and just a fantastic artist.
The Bobcat.
Absolutely. And so I talked to him, and he said, well, Grand Island's kind of far. Again, he's also a Des Moines based. Grand Island's kind of far. I said, well, what if I did find your favorite artist online, and I just kind of showcase some of your art? He says, that would be great. So anyway, a couple weeks later, he sends me a message. You know what, Doug? I'd like to come to your event.
Wow.
There's two.
Yeah.
And then the third one, Bob Hall, who was an editor with Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics. I mean, as a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist since I was a kid. I loved it, and I'm an old guy, so it's been a long time. So, I reached out to him, and, well, he used to teach at Hastings College, which is about 20 miles away.
Wow.
So he has ties to the community. He says, I'd love to come. So there I've got 3 celebrity artists. And so we just had a Facebook page. We had no budget for a real website or marketing. So I just kind of put out there, hey, we're having this event. Anybody that wants to come, I'm not charging anything to set up. And it was a one-day event. Now, we traditionally will have a opening ceremonies and a free movie at the Grand Theater on Friday nights. And I said, so we'll set up on Friday at this, it's called the Liederkranz. It is a 100-year-old, one of the oldest buildings in Grand Island. It's a 100-year-old dance hall.
Wow.
It's a beautiful building, but it is not ADA compliant. It has lighting. It's not a good venue for what we wanted to do. And I don't want to take anything away from it. It's a beautiful building, but again, you have to walk upstairs. It's not ADA compliant. The lighting is not set for, it's not a bright place. And it was kind of hot when we had a lot of people. I had a stack of tables over against the wall. And so on Friday morning, we opened the doors. I just had vendors coming in. And they're like, hey, we'd like to be part of your event. So then, great, grab a table, grab a couple of chairs, and set up. Everybody set, and again, keep in mind, I don't know what I'm doing. And I only have like 2 volunteers that are even there with me. And so everybody it's such a wonderful community. And again, I had no idea because I've never been on that side of the table. But people would set up their own tables. They were putting out their own material. Everything was a natural flow. So we had our opening ceremony that Friday night. Well, the true test was, is anybody going to show up to the con on Saturday for this one-day event? Well, we're about a half hour before we open, and I'm going around meeting everybody, talking to them, making sure everything is okay. And somebody came up and they said, hey, you know what? We've got like 60 people outside in line. That can't be right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We opened up the door. I think we ran like 9 until 4. And we were, so again, this was like a smaller building.
Yeah.
So the aisles were really narrow because we were trying to fit it. We couldn't have gotten one more table in.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had great people like the Kansas City R2 guys came up from Kansas City. I loved it. They brought R2D2 and
It barely fits
yeah,
through the aisles.
R2R9.
R2R9.
R2R9. I always get the last part wrong. But we had the 501st
I
Garrison.
happen to know.
Yeah. So we had stormtroopers. We had cosplayers. And everybody came in, and with the narrow aisles, I mean, it was packed all day long until 4 o'clock. And I couldn't have been more thrilled. And of course, you know, being a theater, we have tons of movie one sheets, so posters. And I'm having trivia contests, and I'm running out of trivia questions. So I would get to the point where I'd get 20 people lined up, and I'd be like, okay, so here's the question. What's your favorite color?
Yeah.
And people would look at me with, like, deer in the headlights look, and somebody would say, blue?
Wrong.
You win!
Yeah.
You win! So it was so much fun. Yeah. Everybody had a great time. The board members came, they saw what happened, and they're like, do it again.
Nice.
You know, so we had to we moved up to a bigger venue. This is actually the 4th venue that we've been at. We've been second year in a row for here, and we probably won't outgrow this building, but we'll try. And it's just been fantastic. This is a beautiful building. At the State Fairgrounds, they've worked with us. They love this event. The tourism board in town, they've gotten on board with us. They're like, we want to make this a destination event.
That's amazing.
So they're helping us out, and we have so many community partners now that are coming out.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's been a great con. We've really enjoyed ourselves.
For a shy guy like me that doesn't like to talk, you know, I think we're doing all right.
Yeah, no, I think you've done incredible, brother. I like the organization on how it's put together. I think all the booths are there. And the one thing I've been complimenting a lot on is you have comic book dealers, which is a big deal. I'm telling you, I've gone to cons where there's 2 vendors, maybe 3 at max. So it's always that's always a little frustrating because that's my main collection. Is
without
comics.
a doubt, me too.
So, but man, you got a lot of great dealers out there doing with the comic books, the arts, the crafts, the people are amazing. Cosplay was unbelievable this afternoon too.
There is so much talent, and again, you know, we're Central Nebraska, so you know, what do you expect? Well, like I tell everybody when they're coming in, just keep an open mind. You're going to see such creativity, such passion. The vendors that we have, they love what we do. We run this as fans. We're not a huge corporation. We are not.
That's so good.
We're low price on our admissions. We're low price on our vendors because I want everybody, you know, all the vendors to make money so they keep coming back. I want the experience to be there for the fans when they come in. Kids get in for free. You know, we're doing so many cool things. And I have the privilege of having great people working with me. I've got 2 guys, Billy Peck and Paul Harder. These guys they're bringing in celebrities now that I had the best time in the world this time with Wesley Ewer and Kathy Coleman from Land of the Lost.
You let me do the round table. It was such a great time. They're the nicest people on the planet.
How cool is that? And they're set up right by the stage, so they're yelling taking photo ops with people in the rafts, and I'm having a great time. I'm losing my voice this weekend, but you know, this is great. It's growing every year. I would highly encourage anybody to come out. Yeah. Just, you know, have a fun time. We don't have any expectations of anybody that's here. It's just we want people to have a great time.
Listen, if you're we drove 6.5 hours to get here. If you're within 6.5 hours next year, there's wrestling, there's free movie nights, there's celebrities, and it's a great atmosphere. It's worth the drive. It really is. There's no reason to miss this.
Steel on steel combat is going on in the back corner over here. We've got medieval knights, and this is real steel going at it. This is not choreographed.
They're actually whacking each other.
We had a lightsaber academy yesterday. We had gaming demos. We had a celebrity art jam with, and they
that was so cool.
Yeah, we had several artists, professional artists that were collaborating, and they would each draw a little bit on this deal. We raffled it off to raise money for the Grand, and I mean, we did great. I mean, it is fantastic, and I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I am just riding the high right now of everybody having a great time, and we're just having a blast.
Well, you did a great job. I really appreciate you letting us be a part of this.
I want you guys to
enjoyed it.
I want you guys to come back.
All right. Well, I've got 8 hours of footage now that I've got to edit, maybe more. But we're gonna be putting out a review and some other things to go along with this. But this has been an incredible con. One of my favorites so far. Honestly, one of my favorites so far.
Well,
so well done, my friend.
It has been a privilege to know you guys and to meet you guys, and you're part of the family now. So
I love it. We love being part of this family. So tell people if they want to know how to get, because this will go. I'll probably launch the review tomorrow or Tuesday. So tell people if they want to attend this next year, how they can get a hold of you. Is it just through Facebook?
Facebook is going to be the best way to get through to us. So it is Grand Comic Fest, F-E-S-T. So if you find our Facebook page, we are in Grand Island, Nebraska, and send us a message if you want to. Our email is grandcomicfest@gmail.com. If you have inquiries, we'll start thinking about when we're going to start signing up vendor applications, but. No, we post throughout the year. We'll probably go a little bit dark here for a couple of months and kind of recoup, but we've taken a ton of pictures. We have a ton of content ourselves that all the vendors are sending me, and we'll have to sift through that, but it's so much fun, and we would love everybody to come out. I mean, this is really a con. I mean, not to be cliche or cheesy or anything, but this is a con that everybody has a part of. All the vendors that we have here, the podcasters, thank you so much. Anybody that puts any effort into this and wants to be a part of it, you are a part owner of this thing. I mean, this is something. We're not a huge megacorp, and it's not all about the dollars. We just want to make sure people come in, have a great time, tell their friends, and how big can this thing get? I don't know. It really is up to everybody else, just out there, word of mouth, having a great time, and saying, hey, you know what? Give it a shot.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again, Doug.
Thank
you. We look forward to it. We're gonna put it on the calendar for next year. So we look forward to it.
Fantastic.
All right.
Again, thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Welcome back, fam. We're still here. This is day two. Day 2 of Grand Comic Fest, the fifth, number 5, Cinco. Is that 5?
I believe so.
Yes, we did it. All right. It's been good so far. I'm here with Shade Sim.
Hello.
And you run a podcast, a nerd podcast. Which podcast called?
New Wave Nerds.
All right, my guy, you're gonna have to talk louder. I need your best nerd podcast, bro. Do you talk chill like that on your podcast?
Yeah, we kind of just raise my volume.
Okay, raise his volume. Shade is not going to give me any more excitement than that.
I could do it.
Have you not done the energy drink this morning? The traditional, con drink where you just slam a Red Bull after putting 2 shots of espresso in it?
Not yet.
All right. You'll get used to this stuff. I'll go get you one after this, okay?
All right.
We'll hook you up and see what happens. All right. So what's the name of your podcast, brother?
New Wave Nerds.
New Wave Nerds. And that's on YouTube?
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube.
Okay, you're doing all the things.
Yeah.
I like it, brother.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so and we'll put the descriptions in below. Tell us about your podcast real quick.
We kind of just talk about nerd news throughout the week, review really crappy movies and make fun of them.
Is that new crappy movies or old?
Old crappy movies,
okay.
New ones.
Yeah.
Just kind of a
There's
mix.
a list of new ones coming out, I think, that are garbage, so.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's awesome, brother. All right, well, give me your opinion on the con. What do you think about it so far?
It's great. For Grand Island, it's really, really big. There's more here than I expected there to be.
Yeah, a lot of variety. It's funny, we're still calling these things comic conventions.
Yeah.
This really should be like nerd convention or pop culture convention. I mean, I've picked up a bunch of comic books, so I'm not complaining too much. They've got a good variety of comic book dealers here. I've been to some where it's like there's 2 comic booths, like in the whole con.
Yeah.
Just 2. It's like, dude, just take comic book off of your title and call it Nerd Fest or something. But it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so it's good. Any highlights of the show?
Oh yeah.
What's been your favorite so far?
I'd say meeting a Native American comic book artist.
You're talking about James Hosler.
Yes, I am.
Who is co-host of My Nerd Swag TV.
Really?
Who's currently working his own booth, peddling his fares, leaving me to waste away on my own doing this podcast. It's fine. It's fine. I love him.
Yeah.
I love the Bobcat. Did you pick up the Bobcat stuff?
I did.
Yeah.
What he's doing is great. You know, I'm Native American, so I'm happy to see him create a Native American superhero.
That's amazing. Yeah, he's probably, I don't know if it's first, but he's one of he's a Cherokee.
Yeah.
And it takes place, it's kind of like a steampunk vibe to it too. It's great. Yeah. My son and I, we've been reading all of them, and I love how he mixes in history along with it. So he researches, because you're talking about Indian Territory, Oklahoma, and then you've got this superhero. It's got kind of he's got a great vibe with his suit and everything.
Yeah.
So have you read the origin story yet?
Not yet.
I don't want to ruin
Not
it for
yet.
you, but I'll just let you know his suit has some outer worldly, tech behind it. So it's a great story, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. It's so funny. I'll tell him that you're stoked about that.
Oh, I'm
He'll be
pumped.
popping over here soon. So, well, what tribe you with?
Ponca tribe.
All right,
Ponca.
we got a Ponca with us.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think a lot of people in Oklahoma, we're gonna either be Cherokee or we're gonna be Choctaw.
Yeah.
So, I barely slide in. I do it for street cred. I'm Cherokee, but it's not enough that anyone would actually give me any credit for it.
It's okay. I'm not 1%. You know.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, okay, well, brother, thanks for popping over and talking with us, man. What do you think you're gonna be podcasting on soon, man? What do you got coming up on New Wave Nerd? Is it New Wave Nerd?
New Wave nerds. Yeah.
New Wave Nerds.
Yeah.
So you doing the whole '80s vibe with it? Are you doing actual new wave, or you just stealing my generation's? Are you like usurping my generation's terms but not utilizing it?
Yeah. I mean, I could give you guys credit, but
You gotta have some some Duran in the background if you're gonna play some new wave, my guy.
Sugar Ray in the background.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's not. That's '90s. You
Oh,
gotta
that's
go even
90s.
further
I'm
back.
sorry. Yeah.
This
Even
bruh.
further.
Yeah, no, we're going to the golden era, okay? The era of greatness, the '80s, man. Take it all the way back there.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah, what do you got coming up on your pod?
I think we're gonna review a movie from the guy who played the Predator,
Okay.
and he said it's a really bad movie. He said that.
What's the movie?
Guardian of the Realm.
Okay, yeah,
And
come on.
He was like, I got a bad movie, so I'm gonna give you a free copy. Review this, and I was like, well, all right.
Oh, that's epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious, man. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll get we'll get all your stuff and then link it in below, and I'll do a review of your review.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Man, have a great time at the con.
Yeah.
So are you picking up any other kind of swag? Do you collect stuff?
Yeah, Funko Pops.
Oh, you're the Funko Pop guy.
Yeah.
All right. You know what's funny is I keep ending up with them, and I don't collect them. It's like the other day I was gifted the new John Wick one. The one where he's in the black with a gun, and I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this isn't my jam. Like I have the two that I had that I care about. Is I've got the '90s X-Men Wolverine.
Okay.
And then, actually, I got more Popco than anything. I got 2 of the Tom Baker Popco, so that's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And then I've got Sam Jones as the Flash, and it's signed by Sam Jones.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, other than that, I'm mostly comic books and like toy figurine type stuff. So.
I plan on buying a couple art pieces too.
Nice, yeah. There's some great art out here.
Oh yeah.
There's a guy right next to that is Dakota Kid, and he's doing his vibe is like Scotty Young, so it's got that cartoony look to stuff.
Yeah.
I love that vibe. You ever seen Scotty Young covers?
I don't
He'll
think
take
so.
like really cool art comics, like so like he does Wolverine, but like big eyes, like almost a chibi style.
Yeah.
It's like a manga
okay.
cartoonish vibe, you know.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, you should check out Dakota Kid. He's got a one for the Land of the Lost. He's got an art piece for the Land of the Lost.
Oh, okay.
So you get that, go get it signed by them. Double your art right there.
Oh yeah.
All right, brother. We'll have a great con. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, of course.
And all of his stuff. Tell everyone once again where they can find you.
New Wave Nerds on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube.
And we'll put it all in the description below. And yeah, man, have a great time out here. We'll
All right.
catch you later, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we have found him. I found my illustrious co-host, the hostess with the mostest.
The hostess with the Twinkies.
James Hosler of the Bobcat has finished selling his wares. His wares, is that how you say it? Fairs?
Yeah, well, we
Peddling
faced
fairs.
That burst of sales
Yeah.
has slowed down. So
You know what was funny? One of the guys we interviewed has a young kid, has his own podcast.
Right.
And I asked him, and I'll play it for you here when we get like in the review. But I asked him, I was like, "Hey, what was the highlight of this?" And he goes, "There's a Native American superhero," and he's like, "I'm Native American," and he's like, "That really speaks to me." He's like, "That's something amazing," and I thought it was so. I was like, "Are you?" And I got so excited because like I know that guy.
Yeah.
He's the co-host with us.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
man, it was so fun to run into that. So. What's your thoughts about the Grand Comic-Con or Grand Comic Festival 5?
It's awesome. It's the biggest one so far. We've had pretty good attendance.
Yeah.
There's this whole growing thing where you have to kind of grow into this and that when you move to the next level. This is like moving from a really small con into a small medium con.
Yeah.
So there's some growing pains and all those things. Great lineup. The guests are astounding.
I know. The
I mean,
guy,
Land of the Lost. I mean, that was the show
Yeah.
I watched all the time.
That's so
It
cool.
was like Land of the Lost on Saturday, original Star Trek TOS after school every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and then read my Neil Adams Batman comics. So that was
Nice.
my world.
I
when
got
was
to
10
do the
years
round
old.
table with those
Yeah.
guys and ask them all the questions. How great is that?
It's
They're
awesome.
the sweetest people on the planet.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
so kind.
We went to the steakhouse with them last night.
Wow.
The Texas Steakhouse. It was amazing.
We were waiting for our invite and. It was okay. It's okay. I'm sure.
You
I'm
said you
sure
were going to the
did-
taco place.
I'm sure
or
you
something.
didn't have signal. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's what happened. Now, listen. If you're ever in Grand Island, you need to go to Taquerito Los Hermanos.
Taquerio. Hey, Taquerio
Listen,
Los Hermanos.
listen.
Sal, did I get it right or what?
Look.
Taquerio Los Hermanos.
I'm telling you right now, those are tacos.
Or maybe it's
it was-
taqueria.
I got a
Taqueria?
burrito.
I don't know.
I got a burrito. Anyways, I have.
Maybe we'll go there before we leave.
It's amazing.
We need
It's
to try
amazing.
to do it.
Yeah, give it a try. It's amazing. So, yeah. And then, of course, last night he had. So, Doug's done a great job organizing all this too.
Oh yeah, Doug is the best.
And this
The entire
comic-
Holmes family.
Yeah, this comic book convention, it's actually in benefit of the Grand Island Theater, Historical Theater.
Right.
He hosts 2 movie nights. First one
Correct.
was Spaceballs. Last night, Andy and Bobby from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
They showed the documentary The Last Watch.
Game of Thrones, The Last Watch, the documentary, which was really made for like television or
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
And we saw it in the theater.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So it was amazing.
was fun.
And how poignant and powerful was that? How
Yeah.
Andy took the show out
Come
at the
on,
end.
come on.
I mean, Andy just killed it, and we got
Yeah.
to sit there and watch it with Andy. And I told him after the fact, I said, dude, I just loved it. You slayed it. It was amazing.
That's what I told him after
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast. I
Yeah.
told both of them, I was like, we've only hung out now for about 3 hours. I'm like, I love you guys. They're just something nice.
They're the
I'll tell you
best.
this.
Yeah.
Every person who's on this guest wall here are some of the most friendly, kind people. I got to meet Tony Flex.
Yeah.
I apologize, Tony. He's gonna be coming on the podcast. He is the creator and author of Stray Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
Right,
coolest
right.
series that's come out in a while. Him and Trish. Trish did all the artwork on it.
Yeah.
And what a cool guy. I was kind of nervous. I kept going by him, and I was like, I don't know. You know, like I didn't want to bug him, but then finally I was like, okay, did you create this or did you write a couple of these? He's like, no, this is my baby.
It's my
and I was
baby,
like,
yeah.
all right, well, let me just tell you, I really like your comic book. So that was really cool.
That's
the guy that is with Elf on Elf. That's
Yeah.
in
He's
the
a great
newsroom.
guy. Mark is his name, right? Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, you come in my you come to my house every Christmas, like you hang out with us every Christmas, like we have you all the time hanging
Yep.
out with us.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
he's a super nice guy too, and
I've got to go by there and do a pic with him, you know. That's on my list, my bucket list for the con before it's
Yeah,
over with
it's
today.
amazing.
So I got to go do that. Yeah, you know, and yesterday, which was really cool, he's kind of hanging out, doing his thing, you know.
yeah.
And I walked up and introduced myself, you know, and told him I'd be back later. And I said, by the way, it's my wife's birthday, and there's birthday cake back there in the thing.
Nice.
And he was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And man, he was like, boom, get some birthday
Big
cake.
line.
And that was great birthday cake. It was
Yeah,
like,
it
you
was
know,
really
the vanilla
good.
cake with the strawberry stuff. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
got some,
I
right?
got a piece, yeah.
Yep.
I did.
So
not
they
as
wiped
good
it
as
out. It
my
was
wife's
gone.
cake, but really, really good.
Yes, and not as good as the strawberry cake my wife made for me for my birthday from the strawberries we grew at our place
There
several
you
years
go.
ago. Best
All
strawberry
bases
cake I've
covered.
ever had. And
All
that is
bases
100%
covered.
the truth. I'm not even crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's epic. That's epic.
So.
Well, yeah, this has been a great con. You know, I'm glad the Bobcat's doing so well.
Yeah.
Got the new books in.
Yep, we got the new books.
And you're hanging out with Jim?
Tweaky issues. Yeah,
Jim?
hanging out with Jim, which we haven't done in a while.
So
haven't hung out with Jim since last year, I believe. I don't think I've seen him since
Wow.
this last year's con.
Wow.
And Silverbacks was here last year.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Grand Island, but
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah.
make it this year because the group he was with that sponsored him, they're not together anymore or whatever.
Wow.
But he's doing on his own. He's doing lots of stuff at other
Oh,
places,
yeah.
so he's
Yeah.
doing great.
And, man, he's got a lot of projects just launching right now. He's doing a great job.
And he's doing a like a self-improvement transformation thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
He's really up.
Way to go,
And so,
Brian.
yeah, Brian.
We're proud
you're
of
killing
you,
it, dude.
Keep
Love
it up,
you.
brother.
Love you,
Keep it
man.
up.
Yep.
Live forever.
Yes.
Well, that's
So, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I think this has been incredible. It's been an incredible show. You know, a lot of times I complain that they call them comic book conventions, and then there's not a lot of comic books.
Yeah.
Honestly, there were a large amount of comic book vendors here.
There are.
Great
Yeah, yeah.
selection,
Yeah,
lots
yeah.
to dig through. I think I made it to almost everyone. I didn't have enough time. We have shot at least 9 hours of footage at this point, maybe more. So we took what we had and ran with it. And switch cameras quick. All right. So, it's just, anyways. So, I'll cut that out. But yeah. So I think overall it's been good. The eclecticness is growing on me, and I just think it's part of things. Like, I think just like what local comic book stores are having to deal with, you have to, you've got to get in customers.
Sure,
and
sure.
If you can't sell comic books, then you're gonna have to add the other stuff. And I think
You
that's
have to
really
offer
what
other
comic book
things,
conventions are
diversify
having to do
your
now.
offerings. Yeah, you're right.
So,
and
well, it's funny
the gaming,
now is-
a lot of the ones that are real successful, they've got some good gaming
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Because you just got to keep it balanced out and keep it going all the time. Can't
Yeah.
have all your eggs in one basket. You've got so many nerds out there in nerddom
Yeah.
that like this or they like that more or whatever. So if you try to diversify, try to cover all your bases as much as possible. I know it gets to a point where you can't. If you get too many things, you can't manage any of them to the point you want to, but you find out where that sweet spot is.
That's right.
You know, where you can try to bring as many people in and give
I think
them
they did a good
what they
job
want.
here. I mean, I really do. I think, I think it's easy to complain about these things, but I think this was a really good mix. It's also interesting, manga and anime are growing so fast right now. Half the characters that came by here, I mean, I wouldn't even know how to pronounce their name. You know
Sure,
what I mean?
sure.
So, anyways, well, I don't think we're going to get people to quit walking in front of the camera, so I guess we should just go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah.
Since we can't get people to quit walking in front of the camera. So, anyways, I think they're about to wrap up, be done in general, but
Yeah,
okay.
got to get a few more
I'll
walks
cut.
in before you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll cut all this out. All right, well, anyways, man, I think it's been a successful con. This is one I would definitely come back to. So, and I think Doug's invited us back, so we'll see. We'll see if he lets us back or not.
Yeah. No, he
but
will.
we've had
Yeah.
such
Doug's
such,
a great guy.
Such
Great
great interviews and met a lot of great people, and so I give it a solid. This is a solid A for I give this a solid A in the realm of comic book conventions, or I guess
Definitely
I
for
say it's pop culture conventions at
Yeah,
this point. if we're
yeah,
just
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
So
definitely for personal interactions.
Yeah.
For the guests that are here.
Yeah.
And just the general populace in
Yeah.
this area, it's all real positive, constructive interactions and forging relationships that
Yeah.
are really good.
I agree.
So
I agree.
anyway, yeah.
Whale, switch cameras. All right. So, anyways, well, yeah. So I'll, I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna drive back tonight. You're gonna hang out one more night.
We'll be here tonight.
And I heard
Take-
you're
can I
taking
take it easy?
Andy and Bobby to. Are you taking them to the
Yeah.
Cherokee? Or are you taking them to Chick Show?
I don't know. We may just go to the First Americans Museum and go visit. That may be where we're at. There's still a few things kind of hanging out there that we haven't closed up yet, but
All right, I gotta tell you a funny story real quick too.
yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
So they have the Nebraska Wrestling organization in there.
right.
And so the first guys to get up, it's amateur wrestling, right?
Right.
So I walk up to Bobby and Andy and I said, listen, those guys on the stage are representative of every American, okay? That's what we all act like. So I just want you to get a vibe of what we're all like on the basis of what
Yeah.
you've seen in the ring.
Yeah. And then they said there's a guy up there. He'd been to Belfast, and he had some outfit on representing a very specific Belfast organization.
Oh, no.
And he said was like, I'm from Belfast, da, da, da. And Bobby and Andy got the biggest kick out of it. They were like, that was so cool. And he
That's
came
hilarious.
and talked to him.
Yeah.
They were just like, I
was
can't
fun.
believe. And he was like, the guy knew the place and he knew the organization, so he
Wow.
had the information
Yeah.
with what he was doing. And so
That's hilarious.
he sounded legit. They were basically saying. So
Yeah,
they
so
got a giant kick
if
out
you
of
like comics, card games, crafts, podcast, wrestling, what else? Manga,
it. Land of the Lost.
Land of the Law. I mean, whatever you like. Next year, just plan on coming to this thing because it's a very eclectic pop culture event. And, man, really has a community vibe, too. If you really feel like people really feel community here. Everyone's so
Oh
kind.
yeah,
so.
yeah, that's the deal.
Yeah.
Everything here is just everybody's positive to one another. Overall, really respectful, and
Yeah.
just a good time.
So tell everyone where they can get a comic book from you if they didn't make it to the fair or the con.
Yeah. It's still thebobcat.net. My nephew's working on the site, but you can still buy stuff. Overall, we're still overhauling it and doing some things, but most of the things can be purchased there.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
And we're working on number 6. We'll keep talking about that. Jim's got. He's on page 19.
I told Bobby and Andy we're going to do a podcast where they just go through your comic books going, we don't see any Irish characters in here.
Yeah. We've had that conversation, but they know where we're going with it, and I already told them how they're going to fit in and what's going to work. And they're like, "We're in, we're there, we're good, we got it,
we got it." I was teasing. I was the one
some
doing
Irish
it.
thugs come to town and start to raise Cain, and then maybe some of the locals give them a good shellacking.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Did you say it like that to them?
Yeah, they love it. Yep.
Awesome. Well, guys, that's kind of the overview, I'd say, of the Grand Comic
Grand Comic Fest.
Grand Comic Fest 5. I've said it 42 different ways. The end video will just be me messing up. So, anyways, you guys, we'll catch you next time on My Nerd Swag TV. I'm Terry Cuthbertson.
James Hostler.
See ya. Keep it nerdy.